Okay, so let's proceed. This is what you have. I was explaining about this Euro USD. I'm very skeptical about it because I know we have quite a bit of dollar strength. Although you know President Trump has spoken, and also we'll be expecting his speech on Wednesday. Yeah, we'll be expecting his speech on Wednesday. So, but so far, currently the dollar is quite bullish. So um, that's why I'm looking at this area, and I'm very skeptical for, like, usually I would expect a scenario like this, the way we have the drop into this, then price just like a straight reversal, even without second guessing it. But now this one here is a bit skeptical. But that's why I've said I don't see, we either see a reaction from here or we see a reaction from 1.17900 areas, that level. Okay. So we have that. Let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. Then let's look at USD CHF and USD CAD. So I'm covering just the major pairs first. Then, in case of a pair you'd like me to look at, just shoot and let me know. Then we check it out. There is USD CAD. Okay. There is USD CAD. So this is what you have. Now for USD CAD again, remember we've been quite bullish on this. For the guys who we do the live analysis with, you've heard me mention about this. You've heard me mention about this range even during the this video here. Just go and listen to this video. All of you here have access to. All of you here are in this Discord. Go listen to this video. This weekly market intelligence, and it's the one that now that I have on Notion as well. So in terms of like the breakdown is the one that I've done on Notion, then the video analysis is the one that is here. This is what we have on USD CAD. Price has, we had our working range. First, we identify the range, right? We know our bias, then we know our working range, we know our areas of supply and demand. So now we now get to understand what is happening within this area. So our working range is now from these highs to these lows, back to these highs, that range is filled. Then from these highs to these lows almost at 5,000 and back to this. And you remember when I first mentioned about it, you were looking at a breakout, a retest, then a continuation of the rally higher. And that is what has happened. So I'm looking at price coming to, taking out these highs, that 7,000. Sorry. And then you see price come to these areas of 1.37 for 50 areas, back to these highs, or majorly this supply, right? So that is the range you're working with. So if there's anyone who's been holding these USD, you can just keep holding it. I'm expecting to see price push. I'm expecting to see price push to the,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Uh,
Charles. Charles. Oh, okay. So I'm waiting to see, I'm looking at anticipating to see price rally to these areas of 1.37 for 50 areas. So let's observe and see how price reacts to this. Then we have USD CHF. So for USD CHF, this is what you have. I'm looking at prices reacting from this area. So this is my range. And this is the example I was giving you alpha before we started. This zone has held here for like 6 months now, or these 7 months from the 1st of July. Hmm, 1st of July. Okay. So you have the second, you have the third. So basically from July all the way till Feb. So that's about you have 6, 7, 8. So 8 months. Okay. Um, we have from July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, then this day, Feb. Okay. So this zone has held all these times. Then it has been broken in Feb of this year, 2026. And this is Jan. Actually, this happened in Jan, so it's 7 months. So now price broke below this. We've seen price come to this demand. So the first time price tapped into this demand, we saw a strong push to the upside to 0.78 thousand. Then a push back into this demand, the areas of 0.76540 and 0.76140. And then when price tapped this again, this demand held and we saw a very strong push to the upside like that. So I'm looking at prices coming to the first area of interest, which is the area of 0.78 thousand. The next area of interest is price rallying all the way to these areas of 0.78590 levels based off these areas here. Okay, 0.78590 areas. So we have that. Let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. Definitely, your first target is 0.78 thousand. Then the next target is 0.78590 areas. Okay. So we have that on USD CHF, and you can see now that even when you come to the daily, that is the structure formation here. Okay, that is a structure formation, and even on the daily, this being a key area of demand, we had the first push, retest of demand, then now the next push to see price come back to this area. Now the next time price comes back to this level, definitely I'll expect to see a strong bearish reaction back down like this, because now this will be a fresh supply. It was a previously broken demand, now it becomes a fresh supply. Okay, so we have that on USD CHF. Then we have, let's have a look at for the guys who look at AUD USD. There is AU as well. So AUD USD saw price rally all the way to, from the working ranges from this demand to these highs of 1.71, I mean 0.71 for 100, and back to this demand. But already that analysis, that will tell you that this was the retest, the top of that. If I do this, completes the zone. Okay. Mm, you have that horizontal line like that. So that completes the line. I mean, completes the zone. So look at when price tapped the here, it came all the way down to this demand. When price rallied to this supply, we had a push to the downside, a retest of supply multiple times, multiple times, multiple times, and now expect the push to the downside back to this demand for the range to be filled. Okay, for that range to be filled like that. So for anyone who's probably trading AUD USD, this is quite bearish. So expect to see price push to the downside. Then we have we have US oil. Let me have a look at US oil and UK oil. Alpha, do you have any positions on US oil and UK oil? You can just unmute Alpha.
On US one, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for breakout.
On US oil. Alpha.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I'm waiting for. Okay, so my levels are a bit different.
You can see there's a question from Mike. Can one take an entry at current market price and put a sell above the week on AU? Okay. Mike, you can just unmute. Anytime you have a question, just feel free to unmute. Here we usually do it like that. So if you have a question, just unmute, we chat. So here
Oh,
on AU, you can see here on AU, you can take it at current price, but your SL will be slightly wider, unless you have your SL above 0.71140 hapo, above hii week. Mike,
Yeah, that's what I was asking if
yeah, you
it's
can have
okay.
it above this.
If there's a chance of a retracement to the distal, the proximal line.
See, this was the retest. The price has already formed this rejection, and a candle closed below the zone.
So
Yeah, so you can even take from current price. Then you have your stops above this week. Then you call it down to this demand, 0.69500 or 69400 areas. So
so
yeah. So I was going to UK oil. Alpha, you're telling me something about US oil and the breakout.
Okay, on my levels, I'm waiting US well to break 67.29, then I'll take my buys.
67.29. Let's see. 67.29. Oh,
I break
slightly
out, I
above.
candle close above the zone, then I'll take my buys.
No, okay, okay. Yeah. That will be okay. That will be valid. Because this one I'm looking at again, this is the range from this supply down to this demand. Then you had from this demand rally all the way to this supply again. That is the major range. Now, if you go to the 4 hour and the 1 hour, you will see the breakouts. So you come to H4, you have already the breakout here. We had the first push, price didn't break below, then a push to the upside. So might see probably a slight tap of this before a push higher, as long as price does not form something like this. The moment it forms something like this, a candle close below the supply, then it invalidates the setup. Okay, but as long as it doesn't form something like this, then you're good to take the continuation, the bullish continuation for that one. But for majority of the last 2 weeks, we've been consolidating within this range of this supply to this demand, then from this demand to this supply, from this supply to this demand, from this demand to this supply, like that. Okay. So we have that US oil. So yeah, that one will be a good bullish continuation. Same thing for UK oil here. And remember, I had mentioned it even in the previous videos for last week. Talked about the previous videos for last week. Talked about these areas on UK oil and mentioning that I'm expecting to see price tap 72 even during the live analysis. So we have this scenario here. Price, this was the first range from this supply down to this demand. Then you're from this demand all the way to supply, that range was filled. Then you had the breakout, retest, continuation of the rally higher. The next area of interest is these highs. And price has tapped that area of 72. For quite a while, I had mentioned about anticipating to see price tap the 72 area. So finally, we've seen price eventually tapping this level here. So let's wait and see now, because from here, I want to see probably like a slight retracement, because now this is a key high. Before now, a potential either continuation of the rally higher or a potential reversal. But first, it definitely has to form a retracement before either we see this or we see price push lower. But first, we have to see a retracement, a short term bearish, then long term we can look at back to the bullish trajectory. Okay, so there's that. Then let me have a look at gold and silver. Then I do NAS. Then I do NAS and US30. Then you'll give me the pairs you want us to look at. There is gold as well. We've broken above this area. This was a key area of interest. This is a very key. This was the mid range because the full range was from this demand all the way to these highs at 5600 and back to this demand. That range is filled. Then a push to this was the mid range. When price got here, we saw push to the downside. Comes back again, slight push to the downside. Now eventually price has broken above the mid range. Okay. For the guys who use Fibonacci's, if you place the Fibonacci here, this should be your 50. This area here, the mid range, the mid range, the 50 is always the mid range. Okay. So we have a break above. I was looking at a potential retest, but it has failed. So a continuation of the rally higher. And the next area of interest is price coming to back to these highs of 5600, back to the all-time highs, because now that is the major range. Because definitely you have the from here till this, then you're from the highs like that. So now that we're in a bullish trajectory, we are looking at price coming to these highs, back to these highs, flat range to be filled. Okay, back to the highs of 5600. So we have that. Then on silver as well, I think even on silver it's quite bullish. XG USD. There is silver as well. I'd also mentioned about this in today's video and also last week's video, majority of the review and the outlook. So For this one again, the major ranges from this demand all the way to these highs of 120 and back to this demand. You have that range was filled. A push to the upside to 90 comes back to this. Push to the upside again comes back to demand. Now we have a break above this, and now we are currently at 86. So I want to see price take out these highs of 90. The moment to take out the highs of 90 here, I'm looking at a strong push back to these areas of 103, 103.67674. So again, that is a long term. That is a long term play. All right. That is a long term play. So I'm looking at price coming all the way to these areas up here. Okay. So we have that. Let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. On that, then let's have a look at NAS and US30. NAS 100. NAS 100. Again, and US30. Let me have it here. For NAS and US30, if there is anyone who has watched that video, you could currently be NAS and US30. Where is US30? Yes, exactly. Price has actually tapped the target today. So for NAS, this is what you have. Majority of last week, NAS has been in consolidation within this area here. The majority of last week from this area all the way to this. This is the only movement NAS had last week. But remember, we were still quite bearish because this is a breakout retest continuation. So we're expecting price to keep pushing lower. Then the next thing, this is on the 4 hour. If I extend this, you have structure here. Okay. We have structure at this area. And look at the number of times price has reacted from this structure. All these times. All these times. All these times. All these times here. And even here. So we had the push to the downside, price coming back to this, retest, then push lower. So I want to see if this area holds 24,400, or if it breaks, we look at now price filling the full range back to 24,000 here. Because now this major demand is now the major origin of this whole rally to this. And then eventually all the way to all-time highs here. Okay. So I want to see a push to the downside to 24,400. Then if we break below, we come down to these areas of 24,000. So we have that. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how price reacts to that. Okay. Then for US30, remember for US30, our arcing range has been from this demand to these highs, 50,000, 50,400 or 50,500, and back to this. Price had been consolidating within this area for most part of last week. Then today, because even when I was doing that video, price was still within this area. Then today, or let's say when this New York session, price has eventually tapped the targets in this area. So now that price is tapped into this, we are looking out for potential now. Buys, bullish reversal. Okay. So because this has been a very key area of demand, unless it gets taken out and price pushes lower, but as long as this demand holds, I'll be waiting for potential bullish reversal. Okay. So we have that. Let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. XAU, USD. Ian. Hello, Ian.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Hi.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah,
Hi,
the one you
hi.
asked about XAU, USD.
Yeah.
Was that before or after I've done it?
Um, I think after.
There you have this one here. So, for XAU, we've seen price, this was the
Mhm.
mid-range here. Okay.
Yeah.
The major ranges from this demand all the way to these highs, 5,600. and back to this demand, that range is filled. Then price got to this the first
Mm.
time, we have a strong push to the downside. Comes back again, we see a shorter distance it covers. See when price tapped here, the distance from here to here is longer than the distance from here to here. So now price
Let's go
came
to
here
the.
and eventually now broke above.
Mm.
So here we will only be waiting for potential buys. So we missed the retest. There was no retest here, but now price has formed something like this. So definitely expect to see potential buyers at least back to the areas of these all-time highs, 5,600 areas.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone else now, the floor is open. Anyone would apparently like me to look at, just let me know. And we get to check it out.
Oh yeah, you can check the JPYs first, then you can do maybe a UD and ZD.
Okay, so okay. JPY is
When you
okay.
do the JPYs, you can also check card. Card JP.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That JPY. Mm, mm. There's got JPY. Can see what you have here. This on the 4 hour. Mm, Mike, what's your bias on this here, the JPY? What do you think? Before I give you my
No,
thoughts.
it's bullish. I'm waiting for you to go back to supply. Then I take it down because it wasn't even retested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
missed I swung it all the way down from supply to demand, but I missed on the bullish reversal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Alpha, what do you see on
I'm
this?
also bullish on I'm bullish on all JPYs.
All of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. Bullish on all JPYs. Let's see. Mm-hmm. So this is what you have. This is a key demand on the daily, right here. This is a key demand on the daily. Although price missed, missed this level by few pips, then we saw a strong rally all the way to this supply at 115 here. You can see there's this supply. The range from this supply, let me zoom in. There's the range from this supply to this demand and back to that supply, that range is filled. Then from this supply again down to this area, that range is filled. Then I'll push to the upside. So I can call this like the mid range. Then now we're seeing a slight retracement. So I want to see if price pushes all the way back to this supply for that range to be filled. Ian, you're also a JPI trader. Tell me, what do you think?
Uh, for CAD JPY, I don't know. I don't look at CAD JPY. I only look at GBP JPY and AUD JPY.
Oh, can you stop looking at Euro JPY?
Only Euro JPY. Euro JPY
Mm-hmm.
ina behavingi funny kwangu. So
Oh, okay.
I opted for maybe a cleaner charts like for AUD JPY and GBP JPY. Those ones at least they are not too bad,
Yeah.
because even when you look at them on daily time frames, you're able to get something,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even trade or just get to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Uh, dog.
Mhm. Okay. So for this one, it's just like more or less the upside. I don't want to see, now this on the daily. Let's see how the 4 hour, how the 4 hour looks like. Yeah, chances are high price might actually react from this. So probably treat this like a minor structure. Then this area like a minor structure. Based off again, you can see this and this and this. So there's some structure here. So price can react from, you see this then a push to the upside because now the range is from supply to the lows to supply. From supply again to the lows, then back to supply like that. So I don't want to see that kind of scenario. If I was trading this, that is how I would have approached it. That is on CAD JPY, then Euro JPY, Euro
But is
J.
it safe to take an entry there, or just wait for it to go? Because I have limits, sell limits.
Sell limits or buy limits?
Uko sell, and when it reaches to the supply, I swing it down.
Okay. So instead of waiting for it to come all the way till here, and this on the 4 hour time frame, and if you know price is going to come from here all the way like this, you can first take the buys till here. Then if you pick up and now you take the sells all the way down.
How would you approach it from there? Like, because it's like in a mid zone from where it is. Where
Yeah,
would be the best place?
yeah. For this one, it is more of like at a minor area or like a minor structure here.
Mhm.
So I don't here my risk will be way lower than if I was taking
Jeffrey,
it from here.
I think Mike should consider the pairs a bit. The card JPY, it's a bit far gone from the zone.
Yeah,
I was taking it from the entry. Check the other JPYs, they're a bit different, a bit better than card JPY.
okay. Yeah, for this one, it's a bit price has a bit has gone a bit, but I don't want to see how it reacts from this structure. If it fails to react from this structure, then back to these lows upper. Okay.
That's why I'd put the limits because I'm also skeptical about taking trades at the mid.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Taking
So
trades
we'll
will
see
be
the other
good.
JPYs.
Yeah.
We'll see the other JPYs, then we see the one that is high probability.
Yeah. Sure. So let's have a look at Euro JPY. Mhm. Euro JPY again, pia hii ndo tulikuwa nasema there's a zone above a zone. This is the demand. Let me see. There's a zone above a zone. So this is what we have. Mhm. This is the kind of thing we have here. From these, let me see. From yeah. So we have from this area, this demand. So there is this area, this being demand, all the way to these highs and back to this demand. That range is filled from demand again all the way to these highs, back to demand. This range is filled. So for this one, I'd also look at now that you have a break above a retest. I don't see a push to the upside all the way back to these areas of 186. Okay. I don't see that push all the way back to these areas of 186 upper, back to these highs. That range to be filled. So this one is a better quality setup than USD JPY. So you have Euro JPY, then GBP JPY. GBP JPY. GBP JPY. There is GJ. Ah, nice. There is GBP JPY. So for this one as well, now that price has filled the major range, you can see even the kind of structures. There is a zone above a zone. For Euro JPY, same thing. There is a zone above a zone. CD JPY, there's also liquidity above a zone. You see the kind of structures they all form. So even this for GBP JPY, The major range is still from this demand all the way to these highs and back to this demand. That range is filled. So now we had a push to the upside, more of a retest then another push to the upside. You'll have this one, this zone acts as an obstacle, so price can easily get to react from this area. But the moment it breaks above, this is the kind of scenario you'd work with on GJ. Then there was AUD NZD. AUD NZD. Yeah, there is AUD NZD. So if I come to the daily, form to all-time highs. It's only forming it's forming all-time highs. Yeah, I'm looking at prices coming to this one not all-time highs. It's actually pushing to the upside. So the next area of interest will be, when we look at it from a zone perspective, the next area of interest will be these level right here, like that. Okay, so something like that. And that is a zone based off the weekly. So definitely, the first area of interest will be the top of 1.20 for 50, because now these are zone based off the weekly, a top of these, the 1.20 for 50 areas here. So that tells you that you're quite bullish until price taps that area. You go 1.18 for 48, so that's probably another whole 200 pips before it gets there. Yeah. So we have that on the daily. So still expect to see price push higher on that one. Right. So any other pair? And so you have about like 6 minutes. Any other pair?
Euro GBP was, although it's consolidating,
Yeah.
entered sell.
Yeah, your GBP you can take a sell. I know that this supply. This is back to now on the 4 hour. Yeah. This one you
I'm
can.
already in the sell.
Oh, you're already in the sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can hold it. The range is from this supply all the way down to this demand and back to this supply. That range is filled. So as long as this supply holds, we're just having slight, this is consolidation. You remember we talked about accumulation and distribution of orders, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we kind of like accumulation first, then before we see the distribution. So we just have to wait and see how price reacts to that. You know how Euro GBP can also take a bit of time consolidating. Then I can see Alpha is asking about GBP CHF. Okay, let me see. GBP CHF. I don't want to tell guys to rejoin again because again it's also evening. We have about like five minutes. I mean it's evening, guys to have their dinner and get to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow is on Tuesday. So I won't keep you guys long. I won't tell you to rejoin after this. So it's just these we have about like 4 minutes, 50 seconds. So this is what you have on GBP CHF. This is on the daily. So on the daily, I can see price at a key area here. It's at a key area here. We have that level there, like that. Then, party demand. Yo, stuff. Uh-huh. Just a second. How am I getting the coordinates for this demand? Yeah, this is now the zone, and it's wide. This is a very wide zone. So chances are high. Usually with zones that are usually wide like this, you look at the previous low. And the previous low in this scenario, the previous low is here. Okay. So price can easily get to have a bullish reversal from here. All right. So you can easily get to have a bullish reversal from there. So let's wait and see how price gets to react to this. So Alpha, you can look for a potential bullish reversal on this one. Okay. All right. Perfect.
That's the bias.
Yeah.
That's the bias I have.
Ah, okay. Ah, nice. Then if you have that bias, then that's cool. That's cool. So
Okay,
any
thank you.
you're welcome, you're welcome. Any other pair before we wrap it up? Any other pair, guys, before we wrap it up for tonight?
We go.
Yeah?
I'm good to go. I'm okay.
Okay, okay, perfect. So then if we
Mm.
don't have any other pair, I guess that's it. So I'll communicate the next session we'll have probably within the week. For those of us on Akina Ian, Banis and the rest of you for group two, I'll definitely tell you when we'll have the next session, probably within the week, just to go through the progress of these other pairs. The rest of you guys, Mike, Alpha, kwa pamoja kesho live analysis in the morning. I'm the one who will be covering that. I'll be there in the morning and also in the afternoon, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
any question before I wrap it up? Any question?
No, just thanks for the invite and
Yeah,
the
you're welcome.
analysis.
You're
It was
welcome.
informative. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
We
you're
look
welcome.
forward to
You're
more.
welcome. I mean, definitely. You're welcome, man. Yeah, like I mentioned, Alpha was here in the first one, so at least now you've been able to join into this one, and we will be having more of these sessions together.
So,
So cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. Have an amazing one. I guess we've covered quite a lot this evening. So for those of us in live analysis, we meet in live analysis kesho asubuhi. The rest of us will communicate when we'll have the session and have an amazing week ahead. So make sure you get those tips. Don't forget to swing it like a minute. And ciao, guys. We meet up on the next one. So cheers, guys.
okay, thanks.
Yes.
Okay.